and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
We
therapist.
are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
In our humble
Bob.
opinion. Today, we're going to give you some fast relief for that back pain and spasms. These are some of the stuff that we have found have worked for our patients, and we hope we can pass them on to you.
There you go,
successfully.
Bob. That's exactly right.
If you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, join us on some of our social media platforms. You got it right set up. That's great. Instagram. You're definitely going to join us on Facebook, Bob and Brad, because we have reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We're very proud of this.
Yes.
We're very thankful to all of you. We're going to thank each one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
1 million times.
Yep. And we're going to give away stuff now in honor of that, and we're going to start giving something away once a week for the whole year.
There you go, Bob.
All
Say
right.
no more. Say no more. Let's get on with
Let's get started with the show.
There you go. Bob, as you and as I know from back pain ourselves, as well as hundreds or thousands of patients over the last 20 and 30 years for us, the first thing you want to do is get them comfortable and see if you can relax the muscles and get that pain to come down very quickly. And posture is one of the key issues with it. And the next thing, you can either apply some heat to it or cold to it, depending on the situation.
Yeah, the whole thing, and the reason a back pain is, our back is spasming, it's trying to splint and support the so you don't bend the back.
Right. It's a natural mechanism for the body to protect itself.
Yeah, and it's usually trying to protect itself from going into a bad position. So a lot of times, if you put it into a good position, a lot of times that's going to calm it down.
Sure, you bet. So the first thing is also with this, we're going to talk about briefly if you have pain going down the leg, that's going to change things. For the most part, we're talking about that pain that's in the back. It's central in the back, maybe in the low in the buttock a little bit. But if you got pain running down the leg, that puts it in a different category.
That's more sciatica, and you should probably check out some of our sciatica videos.
There you go. So the first thing is find a position that you can get it to relax. And if you can do this either in a seated chair, depending on the chair, or laying down. We're going to cover all three of those positions.
Sure.
So if you're in a chair now, personally what I do is I use a recliner, and my recliner obviously reclines, but I absolutely must have lumbar support because most furniture and recliners do not have enough lumbar support right in
and you're
here.
sinking in, and you're going into that rounded out position, and generally, with most people, the rounded out position, that slumped position, is the one that may be causing your pain. So we want to get you. I got to show them on here.
Go ahead, Bob. Show them the anatomy.
Yeah, again, so the bones are the strongest. This is the vertebrae. It's standing up just like Brad right now, facing this way. And generally, the back is the strongest when you have a slight curve in, slight curve out, slight curve in. So the more you can get your spine in that position, generally the better it's going to be and the less pain it's going to have. The bad position generally is this.
Right.
That slump position. So if you're in a recliner that's soft and you're sinking in like this, you're going to be in that rounded out position. You want to be in that S curve.
Right.
And that's why you use a lumbar support. And also, by reclining, you're actually taking some of the weight off the spine.
Yep.
So
exactly. So you can use a towel roll like this for that lumbar support right in here. You can use a throw pillow. I have a lot of my patients have that.
That's what I use as a throw pillow all the time.
If it's not too big or the size is right. Typically, a head pillow gets too big, but sometimes I've had people had success with those. You can purchase lumbar supports like this is a memory foam one. But what I'm going to say then, when you get that position and you find the back pain is relieving, then depending on what you respond better to, you may know already if you use a cold pack or a hot pack.
You've been using, well, you use both, don't you, Brad?
I do. If I have a real severe back pain and it just happened because I did something silly, like I was out working too hard and bending and lifting and I knew I shouldn't have been doing it, then I'll use a cold pack. But if I just got tight muscles and they're spasming and it just feels tight, then I'm going to go to a hot pack.
Sure.
Okay. And when I do use hot packs, what I use is the Thermotex.
Yeah, Thermotex is infrared heat,
Right.
or infrared rays. I don't know what you'd call them. But the reason why we like the Thermotex, and Brad and I both use this, I just have it in my chair every night, especially when it's
Yep.
cold like this now.
Yep.
27 below in my area, 29 below in your area this morning.
Whatever.
So,
it's freezing water
I
pretty
actually
quick.
sat on mine this morning. I did. I was we're having our floors done, so I had to eat my cereal watching TV, and I put the Thermotex on even for that little bit. So you can actually even leave it on. But the reason why we like the Thermotex over regular heat, I'm just going to show you this demonstration real quick. Regular heat only penetrates a minimal amount here, just like a millimeter or two.
Right. And when he says regular heat, that's a standard hot pack, a convection hot pack technically, and it just heats up by contact. Infrared is sending out the infrared rays that are like the sun puts out, and it goes much deeper.
It goes much deeper, 2.36?
2.36.
2.36 inches. And so you can see that penetrates down, and that's starting to get into the spine.
Right.
So into the joints of the spine.
The muscles in your back, you've got some fairly
you got
thick,
some thick muscles,
right?
Bands of muscles. So that's why we use that.
Now the key
wrap you on the
is
knuckles like the old nuns used
Bob. Why, Bob?
Okay, yeah.
Why? Once again. Anyways, seriously, take your hot pack, whatever you're using, hot pack or cold pack, and put it back and use that physically as part of the lumbar support. So that is giving the physical comfort, and then you add in the heat.
So you'd have this, and then you'd have the Thermotex over the top of it, or this and the cold pack over the top
Right.
of it.
As a matter of fact, I actually just use this because it offers enough support.
It's enough lumbar support for him.
Yep, and I don't
Gotcha.
need to have the
There's the cold pack.
the cushion.
Yeah.
If you're using the cold pack, you definitely need a cold pack that doesn't freeze hard. When it comes out of the freezer, it needs to be pliable. And do not put it directly on your skin. Make sure you have at least a layer of clothing.
We actually have a video on how to make a cold pack.
Yep.
Very inexpensive. If you just want to look up Bob and Brad cold pack.
Yep, and it's just rubbing alcohol and some freezer bags and some tap water.
Yeah.
This time of year when it was 29 below, I don't even want to put this on my back right now, but I'm gonna sacrifice it for the viewers. Thank you for that million. I'm gonna enjoy this cold pack right now.
There you go.
There you go. Now, and that's in the seated position. Oftentimes, people can find better relief laying down.
Right.
So we're going to show you a few tricks that we've learned over the years. Now, in your bed,
You can take pillows.
yeah,
and-
here, show them the pillow trick,
yeah,
Bob.
you can show pillows and put them underneath the.
Oh, I had that other pillow here for
Yeah, you need quite a few. That's the
for
thing.
my head, Bob. I want a pillow for my head.
Okay.
There. Oh, thank you.
All right.
So this will typically be better than nothing, but we've found that this leg wedge does a tremendous job of relieving pressure.
I can't tell you how many times I've used this. People just love it.
Yeah.
The other thing, this is totally off on a different story, but tangent. But I have a patient who's got lymphedema in his legs, and this just works so well to put his legs up, and then he does his ankle pumps like this.
Sure.
Just pumps that fluid right out of there.
I've had this work for knee pain, hip pain,
Yeah.
back pain, the whole works. And then you take your hot pack, you put it under there first, so you don't have to go through this gyration, especially when you got
You're getting your
a mic wire.
You're getting your mic
You're
wire.
probably
there.
not going to have a mic wire when you're at home. And then your cold pack can go under there or your hot pack.
You want to be a little careful if you're laying on a hot pack
Mhm.
because it can get burned. I mean,
Sure.
because you're compressing, there's not as much blood flow there. Thermotex less likely because of that radiant heat. It just doesn't. I mean, that infrared heat.
Right.
Just doesn't get
It's
as-
not as intense.
Right.
There's only one level. It's not like the convection where you usually have 3 levels. And if you fall asleep on this, you don't want to fall asleep
No,
on either.
do not fall asleep on either one.
They recommend 45 minutes on the infrared because it goes much deeper. On the convection, typically 20 to 30 minutes maximum.
Right.
Cold packs, you can fall asleep with a cold pack because they just
tend to
warm up.
Yeah, they tend to warm up.
Right. So it's not, again, not directly on your skin.
And generally, yeah. I mean, you want a cold pack for about 20 minutes anyway,
Yeah.
and by that, it's warming up anyway.
I have fallen asleep with a cold pack
Have
on.
you?
Yep. And then in bed, I've done it. I just take it out, put it on the floor the next morning, and throw it in the freezer again. It's just a cycle, Bob.
Yeah.
The world is a cycle.
That's right.
Cyclical,
It's
and
all learning how to manage your back pain sometimes, especially if you've got kind of a chronic situation. So the other point, Brad, you can actually try laying down. Can I have the pillow?
Oh, yeah. You know, I used to have success with laying on my stomach years ago. And then as my spondylolisthesis progressed, it's the worst thing I can do.
Yeah, it would not be good for spondylolisthesis, but for a lot of back issues, this actually is going to feel good. You can start with a couple pillows like this and just lay down like this, and then you can have another pillow here.
Sure.
And just work your way. And then
I'm going to put the cold pack on you so you get to have some of that today.
Oh, appreciate that, Brad. Oh, that wakes me up.
There
But
you go.
eventually you can go work your way to the point where you take maybe one pillow out and then, you know, lay like that for a bit. And then you actually can take another pillow out and lay like that. And even on just regular old, you know, typical back pain, after a while you might even lay like this on the prone prop, we call it. And it starts moving the back into that arch position, and a lot of times that helps calm things down.
And along with that, you can put the hot pack, leave it on there while you're doing this, as well as the or the cold pack, whichever you respond better to. You know, that's a big question, Bob. People say, do I use heat or do I use cold? And I've had people that don't respond well to cold no matter what.
Exactly.
And then
especially if there's arthritis in there. Arthritis, the cold doesn't feel good.
But one way or another, if it is an acute, really sore and tender to the touch, where it's like, oh, it feels like it's all swollen, that's when I'm going to say back off on the heat, lean towards the cold.
Yeah, especially for the first like 24 to 36 hours.
Right.
You know, because there's swelling in your back, just like if you injure a joint, like you sprain your ankle, you can definitely get swelling in your back too.
There you go.
All right. Well, I hope we covered it. And remember, Brad and I can fix just about anything
except for
a broken heart.
But we're working on that.
Yeah. If you've ever, I ask you, do you ever break a heart?
Bob, how can you ask me those things? We don't do things from the neck up here.